the full focus is that the user gets what they want, and there's no middleman in between them wanting some information or some action being taken. We see that as an fundamental advantage to building these consumer-facing products. It's just the fact that it's just between us and our consumer, and there's no other things at play. So my name is Luis. I'm a product manager for Kagi Search and Kagi Assistant. At Kagi, just product management is different. Business direction set by our founder and our leadership team. There's a direction we want to take things, and we have kind of that vision or that direction as a source of input, and then almost everything else is the user, which is pretty unique. A lot of objectives. At Kagi, the equation is quite simple. So usually myself, I will represent the user as the main voice of the user in our product discussions and how we evolve features and so on. And then we'll also have engineering contributing. But it's all about the user. Like if we ship something we believed was right and the users simply don't see value, we will revert. And that's very different than I would say on other projects I worked at. We do rely on the community we have to drive the product, and we try to be very engaged with the community as well. Well, first, the main thing was really making sure that the concept, whatever the requirement was fairly well defined, and people shared it. The developers really understood what we were trying to do, kind of the why we're doing this. Like, why are we building a news app, or why are we building email? There's a lot of email clients out there. Like, what's the main reason, what's the main motivation behind that? Second, kind of the big bet we were doing with that prototype, like the concepts we wanted to experiment with, like what those were. And then the rest was just giving a lot of freedom to the engineers or to the software developers, so they had the freedom to explore different options. The only outcome we were expecting from them in an amount of time was that they would come back with a few options and one clear option they wanted to go with, and they could kind of propose it to us. I think that's one of our main advantages, I guess, as a smaller team, is the ability to turn fast if we need to turn fast. Whenever we're coming up with an idea, especially at conceptualization phase, like there's this new product or there's this new idea of how to do it, the first thing we will always present it is as a user, like why would that benefit me? If I'm the end user of Kagi, like I'm a subscriber and now you guys do that, why would that add any value to me? If it doesn't really add any value to people's subscription or to what people are getting from Kagi, we won't ship it. Our pretty strong guiding principles on almost everything we do. We don't necessarily have the telemetry or the data to know, or we don't A/B test either. Like, we don't have this type of instrumentation, potentially, that other companies have. For now, instrumentation isn't our strongest suit, so we really build products based on our own sense of quality, I guess, and what our users tell us, or whatever we think it's going to be a better version of the product. We want to build user-centric products, I guess, to consume the web, and that has a very strong ecosystem strategy behind it. They are all supposed to start integrating strongly with each other, so Assistant with Search and Search with the email eventually when we do it, or with Assistant. So yes, that's a direction we're taking with the products. And there's already these type of ecosystems available, like the Google ecosystem, for example, of products. So we see a lot of potential and value in offering that to customers through Kagi. The vision is fairly simple. We're giving you tools to consume the web, right? So how do they fit into the ecosystem? Well, search is kind of the entry point into the web, or it has been, at least in the past. When you open your browser, or you want to browse the web and you want to find something other than a website you usually have bookmarked or something, you usually will use a search engine. If you want to research information, if you want to do shopping, if you want to do search for news, whatever that is, you will use a search engine. So that's let's say the starting point of your journey. The browser is the actual application you will run to get there. So we also have a browser in the company, of course. We have other things. We shipped, obviously, Translate as well. We're working on maps. We have our Kagi News that was recently launched as well. There's a few other things we're working on, like email, which has been announced previously. And these are all like tools that we believe can be integrated very strongly with each other and just make a better product experience for our end users, more premium and high quality, because the full focus is that the user gets what they want, and there's no middleman in between them wanting some information or some action being taken. The idea is just to remove the grunt work out of users, and there's a lot of advantages to these new modalities, at least from our standpoint. And as long as you can build product experiences and interfaces where the user can seamlessly work with this technology and control the outcome, like, and actually derive value from it, not slop in a sense. When you ship something that works really well and you're very proud of yourself, you're like, wow, I really nailed it with this one. And then you're like, try to think a little bit about it, and you're like, oh, where did this idea come from? Or why did we prioritize this? And every time I do that exercise, it always goes back to a Kagi feedback post, like something someone posted on Kagi feedback that kind of fueled an idea. It really always starts on someone going to our feedback forums, like going all the way to creating an account and posting something and saying something like, hey, have you guys thought about doing this? I thought this would be a great idea. It's what makes Kagi what it is. You'll hear this oftentimes, but I mean, I could not say it in a more truthful way. It is what makes Kagi what it is. And it's probably the biggest lever we have as product managers, as a company at Kagi, is the community. That's our, like they say in the industry, moat, I guess.